Welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm Pep Fernandez. In this segment, we're going to break down a crazy week of high school football. We will also look ahead to an important week number 10. Who's going to win league championships? Who's going to punch a playoff spot? There's a lot on the line going into the final regular season game. In the Mountain Valley League, we've got drama going into the final week and a likely three-way tie for first place. Well, we got it right now, and it might stay that way after week number 10. San Bernardino played on the road at A.B. Miller, and it was the Rebels knocking off the Cardinals 28-14. So now we've got San Bernardino, A.B. Miller, and Jurupa Valley all tied for first place. Assuming they all win this upcoming week, we would have a three-way co-championship in the Mountain Valley League. And for the Cardinals, they're trying to go back-to-back. They won the Mountain Valley League title last year, and they can certainly get a piece of the title again this year and go back-to-back, but they might have to share it this year with Supa Dupa Jurupa Valley and A.B. Miller after the Rebels beat the Cards head-to-head in week number 9. So let's take a look at the Mountain Valley League standings as it is right now, and you can see that three-way tie for first place at the top. All teams 3-1. Rubidoux, Pacific, and Indian Springs all at 1-3. So we know Jurupa Valley, San Bernardino, and Miller have already punched their ticket to the playoffs. It's just now who's going to win the league title. And if you want to hazard a guess, I would say the Jaguars, Cardinals, and Rebels are all going to finish tied for first place after getting wins this upcoming week, barring something crazy happening in this final week. So we go from the Mountain Valley League to the Citrus Belt League, where there's a little bit of a different story because Citrus Valley beat Cajon head-to-head 2 weeks ago. So the Blackhawks control their own destiny. They will finish the regular season against Yucaipa. If they win, they're the outright league champions. But there's a huge game coming up for Cajon. The Cowboys will play Yucaipa here in week number 10, and this is a battle for second place in the CBL. Cajon coming off a win against Yucaipa 32-8 to set up this very important game against Beaumont. The Cougars and Cowboys both come in with one loss in league play. That would be against Citrus Valley, of course. And for Cajon, they had a big win against Yucaipa, but their biggest thing right now is they're just trying to get healthy before the playoffs. We know already Citrus Valley, Cajon, and Beaumont are going to the playoffs, but who will be the first, second, and third place teams from out of the CBL, that will be decided this week. Here's head coach Nick Rogers talking about that big win against Yucaipa, going into Beaumont, and just trying to get healthy so the Cowboys can make a deep run in the CIF playoffs.
Yeah, Beaumont, they always offensively put up a lot of points, do a great job. Defensively, I think they're much improved just for the small things I've seen from last year. So, they're a really legit team, and Coach Steinberg does a great job over there. So it'll be a tough one for us. And like I said, hopefully we get some kids back, and we'll see if we can compete with them. This one was a little bit different. We're definitely banged up from the week prior. We were down to start 3 linemen. We went down to basically only one of our starters in by the end of this game. So, we just getting kind of banged up the last couple of weeks. But, hats off to Yucaipa. They always play tough. They're well coached, and he does a great job over there. Yeah, and that's the case with everybody. At this point in the season, everyone's a little banged up, a little dinged up. So, there's no excuses with that. But, again, we got to, hopefully we can get to where we can get them on the field and playing and executing and get back to the way we like to play. Yeah, if I understand the rules or how it goes, who really knows? But I think that does secure it. So, again, we got a tough one against Beaumont next week, and then we'll see, kind of what CIF decides to do with the playoff system.
So here's a current look at the Citrus Belt League standings, and you can see Citrus Valley alone on top. Cajon and Beaumont on their heels at 3-1. Yucaipa hungry and desperate to try to strengthen their case to be an at-large team for the playoffs. So the T-Birds will give Citrus Valley their best game. And again, Cajon versus Beaumont, very big game coming up here in week number 10. That's the CBL. In the Skyline League, San Gorgonio controls its own destiny after coming from behind to beat Fontana in overtime. This is Dillon, Carolina, the touchdown there for San G. They would tie the game with the 2-point extra point coming up. and force this one to overtime. They would score first. There was the overtime touchdown there by Dylan Carolina. Fontana would get the ball back, but they could not convert. And that's it, 27-21. San G in overtime beats Faux High. So they are alone in first place. They have secured at least a share of the Skyline League title. They will finish the regular season against Bloomington. The Bruins having to get past a pesky Notre Dame team. The Titans gave them all they could handle, but the Bruins won 47-41. And now Bloomington and Arroyo Valley are tied for second place in the Skyline League with one loss, just one back of San Gorgonio, of course. Arroyo Valley beating Colton this past week by a score of 30-26. That's Ronald Weathers with the touchdown. So Arroyo Valley, Bloomington, San G, all in a good spot going into the final week of the season. Here's the Skyline League standings as we go into week number 10. San G will play Bloomington. So first place against second place. If San G wins, they are the outright Skyline League champions, of course. And then Arroyo Valley, they're going to finish up against Fontana this week. So that's an important game because let's say Fontana wins. Fontana and Arroyo Valley would both be 3-2. So there's a lot to play for coming up in the Skyline League in terms of an outright league title, maybe co-champions in the league, who's going to finish in third place as an automatic qualifier for the playoffs, who's going to be in fourth place, hoping to get at large. So a lot on the line. Very important week 10 from the Skyline League. So with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups coming up in week 10 for our San Bernardino schools and the leagues that they belong in. We'll start in the Citrus Belt League, and we told you it's a big one. Cajon versus Beaumont. Essentially, this is for second place, assuming Citrus Valley will finish up on top. The Blackhawks will take on Yucaipa this week. If the Blackhawks win, they will be your CBL champions in 2023. And we got the Smudge Pot game in the CBL. Redlands taking on Rev. That's a big-time rivalry game. So that is the Citrus Belt League. From there, we go to the Ironwood League. Aquinas is already at least the co-champion in the Ironwood League. They can win the outright title if they can beat the Big Bear Bears this upcoming week. To the Mountain Valley League rivalry game, San Bernardino taking on Pacific. If the Cardinals beat the Pirates, they'll win at least a share of the league title. A.B. Miller will take on Indian Springs. If the Rebels win, same thing. They'll be co-champions. Supa Dupa Jurupa Valley against Rubidoux. Same thing for the Jaguars. If they beat Rubidoux, they will be co-champions in the MVL with San Bernardino and A.B. Miller. To the Sunkiss, Jurupa Hills will take on Summit. That is for second place in the Sunkiss League. And Eisenhower will take on Grand Terrace. If Ike wins, they're the outright champions in the Sunkiss. To the San Andreas, this is a true league championship game. Kaiser versus Rim of the World. Winner take all. The Cats and the Scots. The winner of that game will be the San Andreas League champion. Also in the SAL, we've got Rialto taking on Carter. Now to the Skyline League, Arroyo Valley will take on Fontana. Important game. Second, third, fourth place up for grabs right now. Colton will take on Notre Dame. One of these teams will get their first league win of the year. And San Gorgonio versus Bloomington. First place against second place in the Skyline League. San G trying to wrap up an outright league title. If they can, if they do it, they'll have to beat the Bruins coming up in week number 10. So big time games coming up here in week 10. We'll have all your scores and highlights on Sports Weekly Live this upcoming Saturday at 10 a.m. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Weekly on IEMG. My name is Pep Fernandez. Make sure you subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. You know we'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on your favorite show, Sports Weekly on IEMG.